Hello, hello! Scotty here with you. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to juggle. My cat Apollo's over here. You hear him meow? That's what that is. He may be joining us whenever he'd like. There's also some birds and some people in the neighborhood. So, welcome to Coventry. Juggling. Come on, boy, make an appearance. Come here. Step one to juggling is prioritization. Prioritizing my cat right now. When we're juggling, we're prioritizing throwing, or some type of transition. A movement of the hand, up and down, a diagonal, a throw, a catch. Throws come before catches, so we prioritize throws over our catches. This helps with our psyche as well. That way we can throw and not catch. When we get good at throwing and not catching, we start releasing that tension of we have to catch, because you're going to drop so many times, and that's the wonderful practice of juggling. So we're going to start with our one ball, and we're going to work up to the classic cascade. For our one ball, we have to do our cascade. We're going to go up to our cascade, and then we're going to dial back and just play with the 1, 2, 3, and then we'll go from there. It shows moves along the way and the progressions to those. So one ball, and the cascade is a toss up to the opposite hand. We're tossing up here, above our eyes. The higher we go, the more inaccurate the throw will become. The lower we go, the faster it's going to be. So there's this golden mean spot where we will be able to throw consistently, and as we practice our throwing, we increase that spatial recognition of how high we can throw and still have it land in our general vicinity. So go to the other hand. And that's all we have to do for our one ball. We just practice that. This is a very basic skill. Even if you're at a higher level, or when you get to a higher level of juggling, practice this. This is your root. You can grab anything, throw it. You can start practicing different catches as well. And we'll cycle back to that and play more with the one ball later. So 2. It's going to be a toss, toss, catch, catch. So we're going to toss the first one. This is where the prioritization comes in. We're going to toss the first one, and then we're going to toss the second one. Toss, toss, catch, catch. Okay, and we're going to break that down now. So the first step is just toss. Then toss, toss. Then toss, toss, catch. Toss, toss, catch. And you catch that first ball that you threw. So we're starting on our right, your visual left. Toss, toss, catch. Now we're going to do a double catch. Toss, toss, catch the first, then catch the second. We're going to key into our second main focus on juggling here, and that's patience. When the ball, we want to wait for the ball to reach the top. Otherwise we can stack ourselves up like toss, toss, where they're both landing at the same time. Or we can throw, wait, throw, catch. And that will separate them and make our cycle rate a lot slower. If you wait too long and it's coming into the palm of the hand, that's also a bit difficult. So when we're starting, we want to start right at that top. When we see it hit the top, we throw the next one. We're also throwing under. Come here, boy. Come here. Join the video. Oh, come on. He'll come. So our toss, toss, catch, catch. We're waiting for the top, and we're doing that patience. We don't want to rush catching the ball, because that messes up our tosses. So we want good tosses, and practice letting them hit the ground. That will increase your patience and your practiced ability to not rush the ball, not have to catch the ball. Look at what you want to catch. That way, if I want to catch the other one, I can. This is what the prioritization is. So a lot of the focused awareness of it, of being able to declare what you want to do. I'm going to do a toss, toss. I'm going to skip the first ball. I'm going to catch the second ball with my left hand. Toss, toss, back to the left. When we can do something like that and make it declarative and then do it again, we now have a move. Something that we can repeat, that we can classify and repeat. Welcome to the video. Apollo, everyone. Royalty. So now as we're approaching our 3 ball, we have our toss, toss, catch, catch. And with the 2, let's dial back down for 1 second. There's no rush because there's no other ball in the air. There's nothing to do now. I can wait and cycle again. And we want to be switching arms. So I'm going to add in this opposite color ball. So that way you can see it go first. So it's going to go toss, toss. It lands first, so I'm going to throw it first. That way I'm practicing starting with both sides and both portions of the cycle. So now when I add in a 3rd ball, I'm going to start with my different colors, my orange and white. And we always start with 2 balls in 1 hand when we're doing our classic cascade, just starting. So we take that first one, throw it up, and we're doing exactly what we would have done with 2 balls. A toss, toss, catch. But instead of doing this catch and double stacking again, what we're going to do is release that ball. So it's a toss, toss, release. And just don't worry about everything. One more time. Toss, toss. Now we're going to catch that second ball. Toss, toss, release, catch. We want to prioritize that release and a good toss before that catch. That way when we get to that catch, it's in a good spot for us. Toss, 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 release the next ball, and just keep releasing. We're switching hands here. We're starting left, right, left, right. So I start with my right, your left, left, right, left, right, left, right. I'm throwing under the ball in the air when it hits the top. Okay, and that's a double stack. That's just required to stop the action. So I like to, when I catch a ball, I put it in the palm of my hand. So I catch, and I put it in the palm of my hand with my thumb and my pinky, and that leaves me with my claws up here to catch another ball. From there, I hold it with my ring and middle. That way my thumb is out, and I can catch another ball. And then the final one goes right here. And then I can land one more on the middle. Maybe get another one over there. It really depends on the size of the balls, what shape they are, how stiff they are, how squishable they are. And then that's going to come in really handy for other moves and multiplexes later, where we're double catching, triple catching, and doing all these releases. So one more time with just a 3 ball. 1 up, wait, toss, wait, toss, wait, toss, wait, toss. Throwing under the ball in the air. And then as we get it in more control, we can bring the height down and work in an area where it's a little faster, and then see how small we can bring it and how high we can bring it. We can also rush ourselves and triple stack them instead of giving ourselves space. And then you got to work with your height step. Okay, so that's our journey to a 3 ball. So if you follow those steps, toss to the other hand, toss, toss, catch, catch, swapping hands. Start with 2 in one hand, toss, toss, toss. And now this one's continuous, because There's always a ball up in the air. We can also just do it with one hand, either going in to out, if you see that circle, like this, or out to in. This juggling here is in to out. You see the circles? We're making an infinity sign with the balls, doing our wax off versus our wax on. Okay, same move, but throwing the ball over the top through a wax on versus wax off. A lot of the moves we cover in all of the flow arts that we're going to show you are going to have that similar wax on, wax off. Figure 8 rotation is another form called Okta Yoga that practices those figure 8s and the balance of your center of mass through that. By practicing the flow arts, you practice that without having to intentionally practice it. So, best of both worlds, a lot of actions practice the same types of motions as well too. So, let's go back down to 1. Let's bring in the fancy color here. Okay, so we can do just a hand swap. That's a 1 beat. Okay, you can also throw it directly into that hand. This is not looking. You're just putting it where your hand is. So you start it small, and then you make it bigger, and you see where you can do those 1 beats. And then we're going into 3 beats there where we're going to swap hands. So 2 beat, same hand, or just up, down, over somewhere and back and forth. 3 is what we were just practicing, swap hand. These beats will come in later, much later, when we start doing pattern recognition and pattern planning. Yeah, and then start playing. Back of the hand catches, behind the back catches, back to front, front to back. Here's those drops we talk about. Back of the hand, rolls, contact. A lot you can do with 1 ball. As you develop these skills with 1 ball, you'll get a lot more fluency and awareness of how the ball is moving. When you have 2 or 3 going, 4 or 5, it will cloud your interpretation at first. It's a great thing to practice. Grab 4, throw them in the air. You're that much closer to juggling 4 balls. You don't need to catch them, just practice getting them off. Maybe catch 1, maybe catch 2, maybe catch 3. Catch them however you want. We don't need to necessarily do what we want to do at first. All of the catches, all of the throws add up to a conglomeration of knowledge about juggling. So, 2 balls now. Like you're drumming, columns, what we were doing before, double crosses, fountains. And remember, all of these, if you see one hand doing it, you can just do it with a 1 ball. So I didn't show a fountain with a 1 ball. Cat. Practice them with 1. Practice them with 2. It's all the same basis, just done in different locations. And 2 ball is really nice because you get that swap hand practice, but without the rush of something else happening. So you can really take your time and think, where would I want to go next? What would I want to do? And then give it a try. And if it doesn't happen, try it again. 3 ball. Oh, let's dial down back to 2. So, double hand catch, double hand release. If you release them flat, they land flat. Flat and parallel, they'll land flat and parallel. Flat and perpendicular, they will land flat and perpendicular. Release them in a column, and they will travel in a column when you get it good. So that's a punch through and a scoop. I can punch through and catch it in the tips of my finger, or punch through and catch it in the palm. So again, I'll start it here, it'll end at the tip. Start it here, it'll end at the palm. Okay, so real subtle things that we can do to practice our speed in our hand coordination. Okay, because we don't need to wait for it to come down here. We can go get it. We can drop it. We can move an arm up and keep it there. Play with this. You don't need to study what other people are doing. Develop what you can do. Develop what your mindset brings in. They're your moves. Give them a name. Name them. They might already exist. That's great. You'll learn that later. You can study them now too, but a lot of those things may take a lot of time to learn. And just being okay where you're at. Whatever move you want to try, whatever is feeling intuitively there for your body to practice, is a wonderful skill to hone. And they'll all, like I said, dial up to the other activities and other practices, like not looking. So when you're juggling, at first I'm looking, later I start looking forward. And you might cycle back where you're looking, and then you focus through, and you just let your peripherals handle the information. As they start getting wider outside your eyes, it's a little bit more to see. Another one's that back catch I've been doing. So I do a penguin over the sides. That then gets exaggerated further behind my back, where I'm looking over my shoulder. Then I toss it over, and instead of reaching this way, I tuck this way. And I'm just trying to get it to basically feel like it's rolling over my shoulder. You know, you can also put it there and drop it. This will come in with other flows and contacts. This is now a contact move. I could try to drop it right down my arm or drop it down the back and try to catch it. I also recommend getting more than 3 balls. So buy 4, buy 5, have them around you. That way when you're practicing one, if you mess up and it goes over there, you can just pick up the other one that's by your feet. Obviously be careful of where you're stepping, how quickly you're moving, because you may trip on those balls, but it just makes it a little bit quicker to practice, as well as if you're practicing like a behind the back catch. Maybe hold 3 in one hand and do a release. That way if you mess up, you have 3 other tries to accomplish it. Let's go backwards now. So 3 in one hand, back. 3 in one hand, back. 3 in one hand, back. And those just let us practice a little bit faster. So if I drop it, I'm not going to pick it up every time. I get 3 throws for every 1 pickup session. Okay, so there's our multiplexing. One of my favorite activities. So I'm going to do a quick intro. 2 balls, 1 hand. We already showed that. It swaps. Throw it in the other hand. Okay, so now we're going to do it with 3. We're going to throw the 2. Then we're going to split the middle. And let it all drop. I love drops. Let them drop. We're just tossing it up and being okay with the drop. Because our goal is prioritizing throws. Good throws. He has a little bit far out. So 2 ball, split the middle, double catch, drop. 2, split, double catch, drop. Okay, other hand. We're gonna catch now. So we have 2 in our right, your left. As we throw, double split, catch. We're catching it. This hand's doing a swap hand, not a column. We could do a column, or we catch it in the same hand, but we're gonna be practicing the distinct swap hand and catching it in the other hand. And then we're gonna put the ball in the other hand and practice it on the other side. Now we'll be catching both balls in that other hand and starting with them both in that other hand. So it's 2, split, catch. Okay, now we're gonna start with our 1. So we're gonna do 1, 2, catch. 1, 2, catch. So we're separating, we're adding a little another note in before that double catch. So it's 1, 2, catch. Now we're gonna take that caught ball and split the 2, like how we started. It's 2, split. Same thing is gonna happen now. So 1, 2, split, double catch, drop the ball. When we did it last time, it was 2, split, and the orange ball landed over here, where the 2 was. 2, split, makes 2 again in that hand. So now we're going to do our 1, 2, split, catch. Okay, so we just added a little section, a beginning section, that made the ball swap hands. So I started with 2, my right, your left. 1, 2, 3, and now the 2's on the other side. Start with the 1, 1, 2, split, double catch. 1, 2, split, double catch. That's our multiplex. That allows us to be juggling and then to double catch on accident. Sometimes it just happens. And when we double catch, now we get a break. What would we do from here? Our 1, 2, double split, and we can start juggling from any position. When the ball is up in the air, we can throw our right hand, or the ball's up in the air, we can throw our left hand. I don't need to keep doing this. I can just go into this. Do something else with the other hand. Make a circle around the ball in the air. Okay, we can also double cross from that double landing. Is getting the balls to cycle from split timing, where it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, to getting them to land together and being able to do things like columns, moving columns, and then going right back into juggling. 3-ball cascade. Overhand, underhand, double ball, high catch, drop. Okay, so let's do one more. Stop, drop. That'll be at the end of our journey today. Stop, drop, take the ball up high, we stop, and we drop it. Okay, it's like a 1 ball, but we're doing a 1 to the top, and then a drop. A 1 to the top, and then a drop. We're also doing a bottom 1 ball to the top, and then we drop the arm. The stop is very important. If you don't stop, your toss will go sideways in the direction that your arm was moving. So we got to stop and then do the 1. Prioritize, stay patient, and our last step is perseverance. So if you've persevered this far, congratulations. Glad you made it to the 3rd step in juggling. Hopefully you find it in your own practice if you haven't made it here, and hopefully you continue to find it in your practice as you go forth. Stop, drop, stop, drop. Okay, once we have that on both sides, we can start our motion. And then we can bring in our second. We can either drop first, then throw, or we can throw first, then drop. Throw, then drop. Drop, then throw. Okay, I'm kind of crossed here, So that way when I'm dropping it, I'm throwing it, and I'm sliding my hands over. And I'm doing it either way. If I throw past my hand, it's okay. You probably will need to flip your wrist. You can keep it down if you like, but that's a little bit extra. Okay, once we have it from both directions, stop first, throw from the bottom. We can switch, drop first, throw it up first. We're practicing that height, so that way the ball is pretty much just landing where it wants to enter our hand. Now we're going to put it all together. We're going to drop and then juggle. Drop it, throw it up in diagonal, drop the arm and juggle. 2 balls in one hand, dropping first, throwing, juggling. Okay, now when we're juggling, you gotta be able to juggle. So if you've persevered and you know how to juggle, 3-ball cascade, we can go on to this move. We're gonna take the orange ball, and when it lands in our hand, I'm gonna bring it up. So right when it lands, I bring it up. Before a ball lands, the ball's always exiting. So if you watch that ball that exits my hand before the orange ball lands, right there, that's kind of the start of our move. So we bring it up, and then the move begins. Okay, and I'm aiming for that wrist with this next hand. And I just grab it and bring that other ball down. You can keep it up there as long as you want if you can juggle 2 in one hand. And then you can decide when you want to drop it, like right now. And we're just getting rid of that bottom ball before the drop ball, the orange ball, lands. And then that ball's up in the air, so we start juggling again. It came out of the left hand side, this side, so the right hand's gonna throw first. You could throw either ball first, but for the cycling pattern that we're gonna do right now, okay, this is just repeated over and over again. So learn it on the left hand side when the ball lands on the left, bring it up, drop it, and go through all those same steps to get yourself to the point where you can bring it up and drop it. Once we drop it, oops, wrong ball. Once we drop it, we can swap the hands and we're constantly dropping that same ball. Whenever it lands, we're bringing it up and then dropping. Okay, one final one, inversed shuffle. Just keep that hand up there. 2 ball, keep the hand up there. 1 ball, keep the hand up there. Quick shuffle. To a blow up. Yeah, let's persevere and we'll close it out. Bring it up and boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's more of a toss instead of a drop. Same exact move, just faster. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for making this hard. Prioritize your health, happiness, wealth, abundance, clarity. You're juggling. It brings your attention, focus, mental clarity in. It brings you lots of rewards. It brings you lots of giving to the universe and having it give right back. As you practice doing that, it will come back cleaner and cleaner. Practice your prioritization. Practice your patience. Practice your perseverance. Thanks for joining me. Become the flow.